Welcome back to Fred Otieno analysis, ladies and gentlemen. President William Samoei Ruto seems to be innocently opening another can of worms without knowing what he's doing. He decided to send the KDF to the areas that are affected by banditry. And the areas are West Pokot, Elgeyo Marakwet, Baringo, Laikipia, and Samburu. But there seems to be palpable tension between him and the Azimio leader Raila Odinga, because Raila claims that he has decided to do this unilaterally without following the laid down procedure as constituted by the laws of the land.
Nimeambia waziri wa defense, nimeambia waziri wa internal security waketi chini, hiyo area yote ambaye tuko naye na matatizo, tumesema from tomorrow everybody mwenye ako na bunduki ambayo sio halali, ambayo hajapatiwa na serikali, they must surrender in 3 days.
Our constitution is clear that nobody can deploy the military without the express authority of parliament. It has never happened to this country in recent years. The rule of law and constitutionalism are under serious threat. We have seen the military being deployed in the north without the authority of parliament as prescribed in our constitution.
This is what the law says, ladies and gentlemen. I want us to look at whether the president followed the law while deploying the KDF. Article 241, sub-article 3 says this, that the defense forces may be deployed to restore peace in any part of Kenya affected by unrest or instability only with the approval of the National Assembly. The law only exempts the government from seeking prior approval from the parliament when deploying the KDF in response to emergencies and disasters. That only requires the approval of the parliament after they have been deployed. So the Azimio leader Raila Odinga is saying that under Article 241, William Ruto has not followed the laid down procedure. I don't know what you think, because we must look at the situation in Northeastern and determine whether it is disastrous, whether it is an emergency. It is none of the above, because the Defense Cabinet Secretary, Duale, had sent a request to the National Assembly, and the Defense Committee was supposed to deliberate on the request to look at the budgetary allocation, because when the KDF is going to stay in Northeastern for some times, there must be a budgetary allocation, and this must be dealt with at the Defense Committee level to approve or not to approve. And then they are also looking at the effects and the aftermath of the presence of the KDF. You see, we have seen cases where the aftermath of the KDF visiting an area is worse than if they had not even gone there. Because sometimes when they visit a place, the residents of that area are left maimed, humiliated, and others dead. So these are the things that the committee will be looking at before they approve the deployment of the KDF in that area. Kithure Kindiki, who is the Interior Cabinet Secretary, is a lawyer, and in my considered opinion, he understands the law, and he should advise the President of Kenya rightly to tell him the do's and don'ts. But it seems that he is simply taking orders from the president without also trying to play his part to advise the president. This is not the first time our president is exhibiting unilateral powers to make decisions on matters that are of national importance. Immediately he took oath of office, he decided to lift the ban on the GMO, genetically modified organisms, without incorporating all the stakeholders. And this really elicited a lot of sharp reactions from all the stakeholders. And Raila Odinga came up and opposed this, and I saw the Catholic Church also echoing the same sentiments, the farmers, and they said that they should discuss this together before such a move is taken. Thank God this is now still pending in our courts. I don't know what will happen. We are waiting to see. The other reason why it is very important and significant to subject Parliament to discuss before the KDF is deployed in an area is very simple. The drafters of the Constitution consult first. You all understand that the KDF are responsible to defend against external aggression. That is the main role, because internal aggression is always a responsibility of the police department. So in case of massive unrest, the Constitution allows the KDF to help. Now, if the KDF wants to go and defend me as a Kenyan who had voted for the new Constitution, and I had expressed my voice that before they come to defend me, they must come to ask me, because we are the people who elected the members of Parliament and they represent us. So this is the reason why the president must go back to Parliament and ask me. They will be asking the member of Parliament whom I voted for whether I really want the KDF to come and protect me. Because if I don't want, and I've expressed that to my member of Parliament, then they will disapprove of it. But in the event that you simply send the KDF without consultation, then this can lead to misuse. Tomorrow, he might decide to use the KDF against those who don't read from the same page as him politically. The other day we saw the president announcing that the KDF will be in the CBD to help. That day was officiating the opening of affordable housing, and he had charged that the KDF will be in town to help. And this is worrying. And I remember sometimes back in the previous administration, the president himself, William Samoei Ruto, back then was the deputy president, lamented that his predecessor was trying to militarize the nation, because Uhuru Kenyatta had formed a habit of bringing in the KDF into the civil service. They were the Nairobi Metropolitan Services was held by Mbadi, the Lieutenant General. When you look at the KWS, was also being held by a soldier. The Kenya Meat Commission was revamped and it was placed under the KDF. And William Ruto had complained that there was militarization of the nation. In fact, when he took oath of office, he has neutralized every move. The NMS is no longer there. It is under the leadership of the Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja. The guy who was manning the KWS has been removed and replaced. The Kenya Meat Commission has also been removed from the KDF. So he lamented. And his moves can also elicit a lot of lamentation from the opposition, who feels that if we are not careful, then we could be going back to the Nyayo era. Now, Mr. John Natembeya, who advised the president on matters of how to deal with the banditry, had said that we should be very careful because the KDF is going there, but they are going to be under the leadership of the Inspector General, Japhet Koome. I want to believe there is not going to be wrangles because the KDF might feel that they have much power than the police, and so they would want to be subjected to a leadership of one of their own rather than saluting to the authority of the IG. I believe these are not going to be matters that will bring wrangles, because should there be any wrangles between the two camps, then I can assure that it's going to be a fiasco. Now, do you think that Raila Odinga is saying the right thing? Because When William Samoei Ruto took oath of office, he swore to uphold the rule of law and to defend our constitution. But his actions are the manifestation of a president who wants to breach our constitution because he's treating the requirements of the constitution as a mere formality. He doesn't feel or see the need why he should request parliament to approve of his intention to deploy the KDF. But I'm not shocked because when we were passing the new constitution, our president William Ruto himself opposed the constitution and he voted no. And so it bothers me when I see him, breaching the articles of the constitution, because it simply means that he doesn't believe in it. One thing that we should be doing is that the president must adhere to the rule of law to the core. He should not trivialize. He should not be selective, knowing which one to trivialize and which one to obey. Because the sanctity of the constitution must be held as it is. And this is the reason why I think that the Azimio leader is right on this. Because if the president is left to do the things he wants haphazardly and unilaterally, tomorrow he will skip to another thing. Once he succeeds in doing this, then tomorrow he will jump into another thing, and before we know it, where the country will plunge into anarchy. Because if breaching the law and the constitution starts from the top, then he will be giving a coded language to his supporters, to his leaders, to the Kenya Kwanza team not to obey this law. And we must call upon the president to ensure that he follows the law whenever he is doing everything. If it is something that requires public participation, let him do the same. I don't know what to think, ladies and gentlemen, but this is my take. You can share with me your comments on the comment section. Thanks for watching. I will still request you to support our 50 Bob challenge to help us acquire a camera for better content.